through my journey of trying to get pregnant and doing a lot of things wrong, there are a lot of things I learned. And I want to share with you what I learned. Number one, don't listen to other people, especially if that person is telling you no. If that person is telling you can't get pregnant, if that person is telling you anything you don't want to hear, turn away. Find something else, do something different. Listen to your body and your intuition because you always know what's right for you. Number two is that your mind can overcome many obstacles that your body cannot, but it doesn't work the other way. You need to be in a good mental and emotional state, which doesn't mean you don't go through emotions. It doesn't mean you don't feel sad, you don't feel grief, you don't feel anger. Those are all very acceptable and normal emotions on any fertility journey. But it also means that you need to come back to trusting your body, to trusting that this was meant for you, and that trusting that it will happen in the right time. And that timing might not be your timing, right? We all have schedules, we have exams, we have work, we have vacations and weddings. But babies don't come into this world around our schedule, they come around their schedule. So when you're getting anxious that it's not happening now, or you're getting worried that it will never happen for you, trust me that it will, but it might not happen when you want it to. But it will happen exactly the right time. And when it does, you will understand and you will feel it. And number three is that we really need to nourish our bodies if we want to get pregnant, which doesn't mean you need to gain a bunch of weight and not feel good like I did, because I was doing it the wrong way. I thought nourishing my body meant like eating anything whenever I wanted to, but it didn't. It means eating whole, good foods, eating lots of saturated fats, lots of butter, a lot of red meat, lots of dark meat, cooked leafy greens, really nourishing your body with food from the earth or that feeds off the earth. And it's about not depleting your body, right? So it takes a lot of energy to grow another human in our body, because that is what pregnancy is. You are literally growing another human, which is the coolest thing in the world. But it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of chi. And in order to do that, you need to make sure you're nourishing your body and that you're not depleting your energy other ways, such as intense exercise, overstressing, over worrying, or holding stored trauma in our bodies. All of those things are extremely depleting. And number four, do things that bring you joy. You attract the energy you put out there in the world. A lot of the times when we are trying to get pregnant, we get stuck in this freeze mode, in this idea that we're not going to be happy or content until we get what we want. And what we want is to be pregnant, which is something that is completely out of our control. Remember, getting pregnant isn't just you. It's you, your husband, and the soul of that child, the spirit of that baby. So it is not 100% in your control, no matter what you do. But what you can do is focus on feeling good now. And when you feel good now, you attract that energy to you. And attracting that energy will help you get what you want, which is ultimately a baby. Another way to think about it is think about if you were a spirit floating around in this world and you wanted to find a home. What would you want that mother to look like? What would you want her to feel? Do you want to come into a nervous and stressed out environment? Or do you want to come into an environment that feels good? And lastly, ask for support. Get help. No one should have to do this alone. Talk to your friends or family if it feels good to you. Be open and vulnerable and set your boundaries about how you want people to respond, right? If you want to just talk about how you feel without getting advice in return, tell people that. And seek support that feels good to you, whether that be acupuncture or seeing a doctor or massage, Reiki, whatever it might be. Seek the support. You don't need to do it alone. And lastly, just a note, I don't believe in unexplained fertility. There is no such thing as unexplained infertility. You just haven't found the right support to give you the right answers. But as someone who has dedicated my life to helping women in their fertility journeys, I can tell you there is always an answer, and that answer might not be obvious. It is likely not something you find in a lab or a blood test or an ultrasound even, but there is always an answer.